Hey guys, it's Jan, Not a Real Farm. Welcome back. It's Saturday morning. I'm here taking plants out, harvesting tomatoes. Our season is beginning to wind down. The trees are changing color already. It's amazing. It's almost like it's going to be an early fall. So right now what I'm doing is I'm actually over in our cherry tomato patch here. You can see here is my sweetie tomatoes. So I've been sitting here picking these. They're called sweetie for a reason. They taste like candy. So you can see here I've got quite a bit of these all the way down. So we're going to be in here for a little bit. I've got some actually growing right through the cattle panel. And actually this plant doesn't even want to stop. It's pushing right over my cattle panel and through, and it's headed up to the sunlight up there. So we've got a fair amount of harvesting today to do. So as you can see, I've been starting to pick that. My regular sized tomatoes here, my delicious tomatoes. These are amazing. Check it out. Look how big these tomatoes are. So these are called Delicious, and we are going to be saving the seed from these. As a matter of fact, I do want to weigh it and see how much it weighs. Let's see if I can find my scale. So we got my little scale out here. So we've got it set for pounds and ounces. So let's see. Let me grab the tomato here. Let's see what it says. So 15 ounces or 15.7. So let's say 16 ounces. So almost a pound for the tomato. So these are new. I've never grown them before. I got them actually from a friend in the States, sent me the seed. They are called Delicious tomatoes, and we will be saving the seeds from these. These are a fairly good sized tomato if you're looking to cover a sandwich, and we're going to be trying that later, but pretty awesome. I can't wait to collect a lot of them and just have tomato sandwiches for breakfast. What do you think? And walking through, we definitely have way more tomatoes. You can see here, they're big, they're starting to turn. And guess what, guys? Even if they don't turn, this is where I make my green tomato relish at the end of the season. So I'm okay if they don't turn red. But we've got some beautiful tomatoes here happening, all in very nice clusters. And some of them I'll be picking very, very soon. And then we have our Sart Rolla West tomatoes. So those are a yellow and purple tomato. You can see here, they're actually really pretty. And what we've learned is these ones make a really good salsa tomato. They have a little bit of a tartness to them that would make the salsa just pop. So you can see here, we've got more. So they've got a beautiful yellow on the bottom and then purple shoulders. And then moseying on through, of course, the pepper plants are now getting tall. My poblano peppers are now finally starting. So I hear hot salsa soon in the future. Here's my Italian paste tomatoes. So these are the ones that you can take off and store 4 to 5 months through the winter. So we'll be leaving those on the actual vine when we clip them and seeing how the storage capacity works for those. More delicious tomatoes. Check it out. Look at the size of this. The pepper plants are doing amazing. Of course, this is eggplant in the middle. You can see here that the pepper plants are now starting to sit way above the raised beds. And they're perfectly happy. And I'll tell you, I know a lot of people would say, hey, don't plant the peppers with the tomatoes. But these bins are so wide that the peppers and the tomatoes will never touch. And so they don't really compete with each other. And I've had success planting both tomatoes and peppers in the same bed for quite a while now. And they're quite happy. You can see here there's nothing really happening in terms of stress or anything with the pepper plants. So I'm quite happy with that. Got banana peppers growing. So lots still going on in here. And the peppers this year were slow. I don't know what it was like where you are, but it is slow here this year. You can see here more peppers. And our favorite friends that I can't get rid of this year, which are the crickets. course, it's always a battle with the crickets. We've got little mini tomatoes in here. And then we've got a tomato plant that I did not have the heart to tear down. That's way over here. So far from what I can see, this is going to be a cherry tomato plant. No idea what it is. It may be a pink tomato. I'm not sure because I grew the pink tomatoes over here, but we'll see. I just don't have the heart to tear it down. It's so healthy. It's growing all the way up the cattle panel there. So it's the surprise tomato in the corner. Let's take a look at some other things. And let me share with you some of my natural pest control. You can see here, this is my buddy. He lives in the greenhouse. He helps keep down the crickets. He helps keep down the mice. So he and I cross paths quite a bit, and I'm happy to let him live here. Now, of course, we're into part of the season where we start to save our seeds. So now is the time that I can now start to pick the rice. It's nice and brown, it's dry. Now I am gonna leave it with the hull on because this is something that we're gonna be planting again next year. This was an experiment to really see if we could grow rice here in the north, and so far it's been a success. You can see here the plant is what we call nodding. So when it nods and the stem is pretty much 90% dry, hopefully that'll not be blurry, then what we can do is we can start to actually pick the seed and save it again for next year. See how this is nodding? We say that it's nodding because it's leaning forward. Corn will do that too when corn is ready. That's how you know corn is ready to pick as well. So you can see here, it's nice and brown. It's ready to pick. So time to save the seed. You can also see here, if I take this down, you can see now how the seed is starting to dry. When you order seed, corn seed in a package, the corn seeds will look really shriveled up and really scrunched. So this is what it's doing. We let it dry down on the stalk. We let it dry until it's extremely hard, and then we pick it off and save the seed. So this is not quite ready yet. I can still sort of puncture it a little bit with my nail, but this is gonna be a beautiful red corn that we can plant for next year. Excited about that. And last but not least, we are beginning to dry down our sunflowers. So our sunflowers are beginning to nod. So remember, they're nodding forward. We just get around here. And once they begin to do that, what you want to see is you want to see it do this, where the petals fall off. And if I get really close, you can start to see in here where it's beginning to turn to sunflower seed, but you want that plant to sort of nod forward. Almost looks like it's going to break off. And you want the back of the plant, which is the head of the plant back here, to begin to look brown. And so that's how we know when it's time to pick our sunflower seeds. So you can see here the plants are now beginning to die down, and we'll be able to keep our nice sunflower seeds, not to eat. I mostly grow sunflower seeds for the bees and just for the beauty of them. So that's really it for me today, guys. Thanks very much for joining me. If you have any questions, please pop them below. Our Etsy store is now going to be updated. We are now going to be selling our red walking onion, and we're also going to be selling some of our multiplier onions. Those are going to go up in the store very shortly, along with a lot of the other seed that I'm collecting. If you'd like to try some, we're at etsy.com. It's notarealfarm.etsy.com. See you soon.